This new moon is in the sign of Aries in Ashwini Nakshatra, the first nakshatra of the zodiac. It is ruled by the Ashwini Kumara twins, a pair of horse-headed twins that are the celestial twin physicians to the sun god. They are all about rapid healing, and the sun is our route to the absolute. So if we think about Ashwini and what it represents, it is the beginning of the evolutionary process, and the sun gives energy to that process. Sun is also exalted in Ashwini, and this offsets one on a spiritual path or journey. This is the point of beginning of the soul's journey into earthly life. Ruled by Ketu, it signifies the journey of finding liberation through life itself. Natives are pioneering. They have horsepower to take action swiftly, to transport like the horse on a carriage. Not only action, but also healing and the ability to ward off negative energies. Because they have a movable nature, they thrive on having their life force operating at optimum, so that they can move with a strong will. The Ashwini twins signal a time of rapid healing, swift action, and the primal spark of creation. However, because of its Rajasic state, natives can move towards a spiritual path or goal, but lack patience and be overly ambitious. And this is where impulsivity can stop the carriage in its tracks. Since Ketu acts like Mars, and the sign Aries also being ruled by Mars, there can be courage and action, but a headstrong nature can also ask for finding the biting point between impulsivity and maturity. Aries people love to birth new. They are ready for experiencing as soon as they sprout. They are of the fire element, active and need to be searching, and depending where the soul is at on their journey, they can either be focused solely on themselves, or they are open to journeying through life and learning through experience and knowledge with maturity. Ashwini in Aries is the first pulse, the first gallop, that ignites a journey to move with courage, translating into soul-led action. But this new moon doesn't ask for swift, immediate externalisation, but offers an opportunity to transmute, regenerate and strengthen oneself, cultivate determination, a steady internal focus as a foundation, and taking action carefully, slowly, and harnessing the energy to dive into fresh creation. Opposing the new moon, we have Saturn, Mercury and Mars in Pisces. With Mars and Saturn conjunct here, we have a Yama Yoga. The energy collides into frustration because of the forces of discipline, action, delays, and wanting immediate results. Yama Yoga in Pisces says something needs to be processed at a subconscious deep level first, whether it is grief, feelings from the past, or feeling that something needs to be put right. Discipline and processing is being asked for first. It's a time to take action, but behind the scenes. This energy lasts until mid-May, and globally will show up as oil, water, and gas issues. Yama is responsible for endings, before new life can arrive, and isn't that the beauty? That all of this is impermanent. Space has to be created. Transits don't last forever, and creation cannot remain fixed in one direction. There is always action. Even in stillness we are energy in motion, and the planetary movements don't end. This period requires taking extra care of your physical body through movement, pranayama and yoga, grounding with awareness, knowing that once emotions are felt, you can put the baggage down and nurture a strong container. To cultivate the absolute within means to connect to the eternal flame, the state of wisdom that is always burning. This creative energy needs to be harnessed to achieve harmonization. Meditation is always your friend, and is probably the best remedy for any astrological transit. Why? Because with awareness you have the power to change patterns and develop internal trust that through right action, results will always lead the way. For career insights, whether in the workplace or a business, it's a great time for a reset. Ventures, launching, ending old roles. But Saturn and Mars act as a filter for structural integrity, so don't go fully quitting on anything just yet. With Mercury in Pisces too, intuition collaborates with rationalization, and if used appropriately, it doesn't create fog, but a signal of when to express, inspiration that may flow, and sparks of new interests. So be bold like Aries, but use this period to make strategic decisions that are not impulsive without thought. This is also a good time to harness the energies to move in the direction of resolution in complex projects, finding solutions and being able to act with innovation, which may be the start of something new for you. Working behind the scenes, planting seeds and pivoting eventually leads to the spark. For relationship insights, Aries pushes for radical honesty in relationships between self and the other, visiting themes of avoidance, self-doubt, and taking action. It undoubtedly leads to finding middle ground of impulsivity and confrontation, or utilizing the energy of Ashwini to choose a different response that promotes healing and intentional action on both parts. The undercurrent of Mars and Saturn in Pisces will likely make you revisit old conversations, relationships or words left unsaid, and this is an opportunity to reframe and relearn the relational impact of actions and choices. It's a time to honor your parts and choose which one drives you forward for equal measure in connection. Overall, this lunation teaches that action must always be intentional and for a purpose that is higher than just yourself. What is the motivation behind that which you seek to create as you gallop into a new direction?